basketball, we've got 20 students, 20 athletes this year.
Wow.
That's big.
We got 3 cheerleaders. One of them,
That's new
Leslie,
this year, too.
Yes, and Leslie, she's blind, but I mean she's out there. The coaches we have for the cheerleaders work with them in the cafeteria, and then they'll come in and do the cheers for us. I'd invite people to come to one of our practices.
You want to see
It'll
love
change
in
Yeah.
motion.
It will-
That's
it will
what
really
that
It
is.
will really change. Maybe have preconceived notions of whatnot, and that's the thing as a parent watching these kids. Just like you said, talking about your little boy Eli, the steps ahead that they're making,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like I said. I'm almost at a loss for words because it just touches me. It just touches me here, and I just love seeing it, and I love the camaraderie and the interaction, and it's a big-hearted thing.
Yesterday, I had a mama look at me and say, he can't dribble, and he's not, he doesn't dribble. And I was like, oh, I didn't either before I did.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what he was doing by the time he left yesterday?
Was that the young boy that just came in
Uh-huh.
yesterday? Yes.
He was one of the newer kids that
I
we
was
had.
introduced to him, and his mother was all excited
Yeah.
about him being there, and he was running up and down the court, like you said, there at first, but all it takes is a little bit, and the accomplishments is something we'll never forget. I mean, that's just something that you see, those steps, you and Lisa working mainly with the younger group that we have, and Jeff and I working with the olders, but Steve, the parents, we had probably 25 parents there yesterday
That
and
enjoyed watching
yes,
it.
It's encouragement.
Well, and that's what's so great about, like you said, having that interaction, and you're right there with it, and it's one of those deals, pitch in when you can and do whatever. And like you said, talking about red hands, I'm constantly clapping, if they hit it, they don't hit it. That's the thing about it. It's not, it's you're getting out there and you're trying. And a lot of times I think people marginalize folks and go, oh, well, don't. No, let that kid grow. Let
them do it. I said, the thing that aggravates me the most is once you put a sign on a child's forehead that says they can't do something, you'd be amazed they don't. Stop putting that in their head that they can't. Yes, they can. It's not a matter of I may do it the same way that somebody else does. Maybe I have to do it a little different, but that's okay. I can still do it. Mm-hmm. And I will. If anybody's ever met my kid, don't tell him he can't, because he'll show you.
Oh.
Well, what's funny? What's funny too is like he comes tells me his bowling scores. I'm like, man, I can't even. I don't do half of that.
Oh, I know.
And what I'm saying, I maybe put some bumpers. Maybe I'll have a chance. But it's one of those things of they're very talented and they really work hard. Like right now, they're working on 2 different sports at one time. So the Olympian title, I think, is well earned.
And they enjoy it and they love it. And I think
bowling's headed to Louisville on December the 6th and 7th
Regionals.
that weekend.
Right.
Eli and I got gold last time. Bless his heart, he's going with his daddy this time instead of me. So they've got something to live up to this time. And, that's something that we do have, too. We have some of the other coaches, we have parents or maybe, somebody else that'll come in and bowl with them, and they bowl doubles up at the Olympics. So if you are interested in helping in any way, we can find a spot for you, because these kids, and I say kids, I love them so much. And I will tell you, Roy Jean, I've coached 5th and 6th grade kids, that were perfectly fine, boys basketball and that sort of thing. That is more rewarding to me in 1 or 2 practices with these kids.
Right.
They're amazing.
I mean, I've coached middle school, freshman, JV, some super AAU teams that were here and out of Paducah. But as I've said before, this is the most rewarding. When one of these athletes they make a basket. That's the most exciting thing that you can watch, is how joyful they are at accomplishing that. Let me throw this in. Yesterday after practice, as I said, we've got, we've got 20 athletes, counting our cheerleaders, and several of them are new. But we are going to need uniforms.
Yes.
And talked to Vicki yesterday, and we decided the cheapest route that we could go would be a reversible jersey and just blue shorts. And those are going to cost us about $30 a piece. Now, we don't, as an athlete, they don't get to keep their uniforms. So what we do is this year, like Lincoln and Joy and a whole bunch of them like that have grown. So we're going to have new ones. They're going to cost us $30 a piece. And I'm going to throw this challenge out there to the listeners. This community's always supported us in everything that we do. I mean, Happy Feet has provided tennis shoes for us on several different occasions. The McEneanys have provided travel bags for us, and last year when we went to the state, the Marquis had Good Luck. Caldwell County School System has provided, they give us our coats. The coats, a lot of them have coats that letters, jackets. So, it's always been support from this community. But if you'd like to support us this year with one uniform, $30 donation, they can drop it by here. They can contact me, Vicki Purcell. Steve's out a lot. Just if you'd like to. And what I've told some of the organizations, like last year, our tournament's coming up in January, and on our shirts we put our sponsors. So if you want to make a donation to us for a jersey and the shorts or a uniform, we'd really love to do that, because it is expensive. Going to Louisville and all of these other places.
Well,
that it
and
is
let me explain
expensive.
that to them too, because I've got a mama's point of view on that too. When they send their child, they don't have to worry about anything when that child goes, because it's taken care of.
Yes.
They're not just in fast food restaurants. You set them down to a nice hot family-style
Right.
meal.
You do.
They are taken care of from breakfast until dinner. There is always someone there, be it a parent or whoever is there to take care of them, whether it's in the hotel room. 24/7 they have help. There is never a time when these kids are just left unattended and without something that they need or want. And they know that. They feel loved. It's down to Vicki making chocolate chip cookies for a snack, or it's somebody bringing something in all the time. And we are really thankful for all the donations and everything that everybody does throughout the year. But this is something that we've taken on some extra kids this year,
Yes,
and
we
the
have.
team is much bigger than what it was last year. And I don't mean one or two kids. It's much bigger. And
I love the power
we
of
need the
radio,
help.
Tess. I love the power of radio. Look at there.
Oh,
Look at this
Thank you.
bless your heart. See,
Let
we
me
just-
interrupt, but that's the power of radio right there.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we've got a sponsor right there, and we appreciate that so much. But that's what it's all about. And the mama's perspective. I know we're going to tear up here.
Yeah.
It got me involved.
I know. And I want to get to Roy Jean here. Steve has been involved with this for a while, but tell us about your involvement when you first decided that, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to get involved with Special Olympics, because it takes a lot, and it takes. I've watched you work. I go to those. I've been to some of those practices. I've been to some of those games, and you're giving it your all, man, with these kids. And so tell us about when it hit you that, I'm going to get involved here.
Well, when I retired here, if I can talk,
I can't talk either.
I know.
This is the one time I can't talk in my life.
I went to the Sportsplex in Paducah and stayed down there for 4 years coaching at the Sportsplex. Like I said, we had some AAU teams that were tremendous teams. And trying to think, who called me? Seymour.
Allison.
Allison
Yeah.
called me, and she said, would you be interested in helping with the Special Olympics? And I said, well, sure. And so I walked in that day not really knowing what to expect. And Jason was there, Joseph was there, Katie Beth, Mikey. There was just a few that are still, well, not a few, but there's several that's still with us. But I said, guys, do you know what this is? No. I said, well, that's called elbow. This is free throw line. This is hash mark. And I went over all that and gave them a piece of paper. And I said, now, y'all come back next week. And I said, I'm going to quiz you on this. Well, they did. And they knew it.
Wow.
And but the thing is, they would come down, and we have a lot of help. I mean, that year we had a lot of help. But they would come down, and they'd make a basket. Well, it's a hug. It's a high five. It's a knuckle bump. And I thought, man, I've coached some good people. I've got students or athletes that are in college now that I coach, but there's nothing that is more enjoyable than the little fella that came in yesterday. Can't think of his name, but
Bentley.
his mother introduced him to me, and he was excited. I mean, you could look in his eyes, and you could tell the excitement of being there. And we'll work with him. Hope the good Lord gives me health enough to stay another 3 or 4 years to see what these new ones are going to develop, because we got some young kids, young athletes.
But they're good. I will
Yeah.
tell you. And they're so coachable. They soak it up. They want it so bad. And, anything from yesterday we were working on passing.
Yeah.
And they pick
Yep.
things up so fast. I said, man, if some of the ones that don't have issues could pick things up this fast, it's just because they want it so bad.
And there's a guy sitting right there that
That's
when he
one of our
first started,
stars.
you got a star player with Mr.
well-
Jason there, and man, he has come a long way since he picked up that basketball.
Last year we were one of 3 teams in the state that were at that tier. And we went and we played against a team out of Lexington, one out of Cincinnati, or that area. Well, they played a 2-3 zone against us that a lot of high school teams,
had trouble with.
yeah. And it was a good experience for us.
You exploited it though
Yeah,
at some
that's
point,
right.
didn't you?
And we're coming back.
I started to say, wait, we're coming.
That's
We're
awesome.
coming. You
That's
should come
right.
and see us at practice. We're coming.
But
Well, I was just going to say there's something to be said too about a lot of times, because again, people just assume they can't. It's a blank slate, so you don't bring bad shooting habits or whatever to it, and you end up with like you said, a more malleable learner, and they end up coming off as a better player, I think.
I think the biggest thing is we never tell them they can't. We
No.
just try to help them figure out how they can.
It's huge.
And I think that is a big difference in the mentality of children and even
Looky
growing
here,
older. So
the
I think
power
that's
of radio
wonderful.
is working again. You got to love it. Looky there, the power of radio is there. And
for Pete's sake.
man, I tell you, it's awesome. It's awesome.
is.
Well, just come on by.
Come on,
Just
come on in.
keep come on. Well, just keep coming on by and bringing the money for
That's
the
right.
Special Olympics. We'll take it all day long, and we might just stay on the air and just do a
So
quick
say you might
little
need a
telethon
big
here.
bucket to stick
But,
them in.
I may need a box of tissue.
So awesome, guys! It's so awesome.
Somebody get Tess a
Rogers.
tissue.
And can't thank our community
listening.
enough for the
Oh,
support.
that's
so
awesome.
so again, they can contact Miss Vicky to
Yes.
help if they want to support. You
Bring
can
it by here just like they're doing now. That would be
Our
great.
flag is, like I said, me and Jason are out
together.
all day
Yeah,
doing volunteer
run
work.
Steve
just
and
swing
Jason
out.
down and drop it by here, but get in
Hey,
touch and get
I'd
involved.
like to invite them to come to a practice.
Yes.
We practice Thursdays from 3:15 to like 4:45. And I think your heart would be blessed.
Get a blessing out of
Yes, sure do.
That's fantastic.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much,
you all.
already.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. And thank
it's
you.
not often that Roy Jean and me are both. We don't know what to say.
No.
But we're about speechless. I'll tell you, our babies are special, and we love them so much. And when we lost Caitlin last year, that's been hard on us this year when we played and we didn't get to see her. But I looked at Vicky and I told Roy Jean and I said, you know what? I'm so glad I coached because I got to know her. And most of these, they're all like that. You are so blessed just to meet one of them, let alone all of them. And if anybody will take the time to come in and see them or meet them just for 5 minutes, you'll understand what we're talking about.
Yep. Thank you,
Amen.
guys. Thank
Thank
you all
you
for
guys.
what you do, and go out and support these athletes. They're working hard on the court, on the bowling lanes, and everywhere else. So thank you all for what you do. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks
Roy Jean
to the
Rogers.
community.
And we thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for supporting Special Olympics, everybody.
Thank you for
Keep
coming
up the good work,
in.
Jason.
Bless their hearts. Roy Jean, I'm going to go get a mop and sop myself up here for a second and change gears. Thank you. Bless your hearts. 1580 103.3 WPKY.
This morning you feel alone, 'cause you forgot your phone at home. So now you're forced to interact with small talk and awkward eye contact. Out here trying to survive like it's 1995. The dark ages. When your morning is hell, just go to Taco Bell.
And try the $1 grilled breakfast burritos with fluffy eggs and your choice of crispy bacon, sausage, or potatoes. Only at Taco Bell. At participating stores for a limited time during breakfast hours. Prices may vary. Tax extra.
Active military and veterans can dine for free at Country Pride restaurants inside TA Travel Center and Iron Skillet restaurants inside Petro Shopping Centers on Monday, November 11th. That's right, breakfast, lunch, or dinner is free on November 11th for all active military and veterans. Show your proof of service and your meal is on us. Consider it our way of making up for all those MREs. Free meals available on November 11th at participating Country Pride and Iron Skillet restaurants. We look forward to serving you.
Hush, little baby, don't
What does your morning sound like?
you the itsy bitsy spider. Rock-a-bye, baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
2018 Cruise Premier, 24,000 miles, NADA retail 17,625. Trice price 15,900.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
Fall is the beginning of flu season. Protect yourself with the flu vaccine at the Health First Community Health Center. It is your best shot at stopping the flu from getting to you. With same-day appointments and walk-ins welcome, they make it easy to arm yourself against infection. Contact the Health First Community Health Center office toll-free at 1-877-667-7017 or visit one of their 7 locations for all your healthcare needs. At Health First, your health is our first concern. That's Health First Community Health Center.
Hey guys, it's Molly with the Tin Roof. Did you know we now have 2 locations? That's right, you can now shop your favorite gift shop, not only in Princeton, but now in Cadiz too. Both stores are crammed full of home decor, apparel and accessories, gifts for all ages and occasions, and of course, all the fun. Free gift wrapping on every single purchase every day. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all the deets from your very favorite store, Tin Roof, where fun and style meet.
Big deals.
Have you been to Big Deal Store yet? Go to WPKYOnline.com and click on Loyal Listener Big Deals. The other day, I redeemed a gift certificate on my smartphone. It was so easy. Thanks to Loyal Listener Big Deals, I found new places to eat, have fun, take the family out, and get my car fixed. With Loyal Listener Big Deals, you can save money and try new businesses. Go to WPKYOnline.com. But you better hurry. You never know how long each deal will last.
1580 103.3 WPKY. I think I've composed myself enough. I'm telling you, I said, never have I ever thought that you could shut me and Roy Jean Rogers up at the same time that quick. I thought that was impossible, to be perfectly honest. But I think they've done it. But thank you so much to everybody who's already come in and donated. And the kids appreciate it, and we appreciate it. And it will be, every cent will be put to a good cause and to some really fantastic kiddos. So we do appreciate that. And hey, we've got Dan the Man. At least that's what Ty's calling you, is Dan the Man.
Yeah, you were crying when I came in. I thought it was because I was coming in.
I
get that sometimes.
I
Oh,
was
Lord,
so
here he comes
moved.
again.
Well, I'll tell you, at rodeo now, that's my jam right there.
Yeah, that's
Jenna
what I hear
and I,
you used to.
Jenna Wainer and Brian. I'm so sorry. I always talk to her and I leave you out half the time.
You're gonna give
But
Brian a complex.
one of these days I'm going to. But we were just talking about barrel racing and goat tying. Here we come. Sign me up.
Yeah, it's college rodeo time at Murray State.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's a great show. 21st through the 23rd of November, we've got our 44th annual college rodeo. It's the oldest rodeo in the state of Kentucky.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's a fun one too.
Oh yeah, it's a quality show. We have PRCA contractor Universal Rodeos comes in, brings the livestock. We have 16 colleges and universities from around the southeast that will be bringing students to compete. Around 275 contestants will be in town on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to compete in this college rodeo. So.
Well, what kind of events have you got in it?
We've got all of the rodeo events, all the rough stock riding events. So we got bareback riding, saddle bronc riding, and bull riding. We've got the men's timed events of calf roping, team roping, and steer wrestling. And then the ladies' events of barrel racing, goat tying, and breakaway roping. So there's a lot of action.
I love to watch some good bulldogging events.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably one of my favorites to watch. I really like tie down, too. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, those are pretty technical events. There's a lot more to it than a lot of people give it credit for. I mean, it's all about timing. Of course, the fastest time wins, but you have to have you have to be banging on all cylinders to make it happen
I'm a Mooney
quickly.
fan. Are you kidding me?
Do what?
I'm one of them Mooney fans.
Mooney fans.
JB.
Oh yeah, Well, now you're talking old school here.
I know,
It's been
but
a little while
that's
since
the way I
JB
like
Mooney
it.
was.
Well, I still call it bulldogging. It's not technically called bulldogging
Steer
anymore.
wrestling.
It's steer wrestling now.
Steer wrestling. Yeah.
Back in the day, it was bulldogging.
Yeah. That's been a while. You're showing your. I'm not going to say this. Now.
I
Make
am
you cry
showing my
again.
age.
Make you cry again.
I'm well beyond any of that now. I mean, it's just that truck has sailed.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the admission is not bad at all, really.
No, actually,
And
we've got a really good deal going on too. I'm going to get off on a couple other deals in conjunction with our college rodeo.
Okay.
The month of November, the Hudson School of Ag there at Murray State is in conjunction with Murray State Athletics is doing what we're calling Hunger Heroes.
Okay.
And the slogan is racing to put food on the table. So we're having a non-perishable food item drive at several locations. David Taylor Chrysler Dodge Jeep is one of our supporters. And you can take canned food items to any of their 3 locations in Benton, Mayfield, and there in Murray. You can take your canned food donations to the Bill Cherry Expo Center.
Okay.
But with every 5 cans of food or non-perishable food items, you get a free ticket to the Thursday night performance of the rodeo. So, and if you don't want to carry around 5 cans, we will take monetary donations. So, but you can get a free ticket to the rodeo Thursday night and come out and get to watch some great rodeo action and help some folks in this holiday season try to get a good meal on the table. And
See,
stuff.
I think that's fun. I do. It's one of those, and I got to admit, it's the mama in me. But there's not a lot of places these days that's necessarily appropriate for all ages. When you're a family, even when you go to the theater, you have to be careful what you walk into.
Yeah, you won't see anybody taking a knee at a rodeo either. We start the events with the Lord's Prayer, and we also start it with the singing of the national anthem. There's a reason it's called the greatest show on dirt, because it's America's #1 sport. And it and baseball were invented here in the United States, and we feel like we got a great product. And you've got amateur contestants out here competing. How college rodeo differs from profession or from other college sports is our contestants are competing for money, so they can win some money. So a lot of the kids who are you'll see competing at our college rodeo in Murray are going to PRCA rodeos and stuff, and we got one boy in our region.
That's their future injury fund.
Yeah. We got one young man that rides bareback horses in our region, and he just missed making the NFR in Vegas this year.
No.
He finished like 17th in the world.
Oh, that's gotta hurt,
and
man.
They take
I'd rather
the top
be at the
15,
bottom than that close and not go.
Heck no. But they bring that kind of skill level to the table for you guys to come see the rodeo. So it's a great show.
I'll tell you.
Kind of go along with what you were talking with Roy Jean about. For several years now, for probably 25 years now, we've been putting on our Special Friends Rodeo, which is the day, usually the day before our college rodeo starts. But we invite the special needs kids from Western Kentucky to come over, and we put on a special performance of the rodeo, and we also let them come in the arena, and they do a lot of events that are appropriate to them as well.
My kid has been to a couple of them, and
well,
I will tell
I'm going to tell you, we
absolutely awesome.
We it's open to anybody. If you guys know of anybody who wants to come to that, they just need to get in contact with us there at the Expo Center, and they can come on over. But that'll be on the 19th, which is the Tuesday of our rodeo week. And we are already expecting somewhere around the neighborhood of 150 to 200 students to come and participate in that from area schools, anywhere, all the way from Murray and Callaway County schools, Graves County schools, Henry County down in Tennessee is bringing some folks. And, if anybody from Caldwell County wants to come, they're more than welcome. Just let us know, because we try to accommodate everybody. And it's a deal that starts around 9 o'clock in the morning, and it goes to about 1:30 in the afternoon.
I've always
like
said
that.
I think horses in general, and maybe it's because I'm a horse girl that I believe that way, but I think horses can really even the playing field for a lot of kids and a lot of people that are disabled. We even have a lady that, she may be in a wheelchair on a day-to-day basis, but boy, she can barrel race,
Well,
can't she? And I love that, because that sends a powerful message
There
to
is
kids.
a positive energy that people get from being around horses and
Right.
stuff, and it shows a lot in this therapeutic riding and stuff. But it's kind of strange. I've got a buddy who's been around horses his entire life. He used to rodeo and trained horses and stuff, and he's got back problems right now. He has very bad back problems. But he says when he gets on a horse, if he's able to get on a horse, has to have a little help getting on a horse now, but when he's able to get on the horse, he said while he's riding, his back quits hurting him. So, it may be the movement of the animals, it may be the energy they're putting off. I'm getting a little psychedelic out here a little bit, but no, it's a great opportunity for people to benefit from it.
All joking aside, when my son first started getting on them, and of course, I have twins, and they're 13 now, but when the boys were, I don't know, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
One of my boys doesn't have any problems. He could sit on there just fine. The other one, kind of walk, he had to walk beside him, and make sure he didn't tip over, because he didn't have the upper core strength that CJ did. And so, by the next year, you didn't have to hold him on as much. And then by the next year, we walked along, but not really holding on to him, but just making sure, I'm going to tell you what, these days you get on there and there's a lead line between his horse and ours. But outside of that, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no, but it's something that it helps in so many ways physically, but it also helps mentally.
Oh, it does.
Because that horse, suddenly,
does.
Kids that can't walk, boy, they can go awful
And
fast.
it's
can't they?
it's crazy how animals can differentiate between people and stuff.
They know the difference.
They'll take care of a kid like that has special needs and stuff. Where if I was to get up on them, it might be a little different story. But
Yeah, well, hey, we had an old Icelandic horse. God bless his soul. He went to live with Jesus last year, but he was our therapy horse. And that horse would go anywhere, do anything. Most stubborn animal you've ever met when CJ got on him. Eli gets on him, and he's like, hey, let's go to town. Where you want to go? You want to go Dairy Queen? Oh, I'm not afraid of nothing. No, I don't booger at nothing. Let's go. But CJ would get on him, and suddenly that horse, I'm not going nowhere.
yeah.
I'm scared of everything.
Yeah.
But he knew who he had on him.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. But we got the college rodeo coming up,
Yes.
and we'd love to have everybody come out. If you need information about how to get tickets, you can buy tickets ahead of time, or you can get weekend passes for the deal as well. But you can call the Expo Center there at 270-809-3125, or you can visit us on our website at www.murraystate.edu/Cherry Expo Center. And tickets are $14 for general admission, $12 for kids 6 to 12, and MSU students with an ID can get in for $7. But if you bring those non-perishable food items out, you can get a free ticket to the Thursday night performance. And I was going to tell you this too: on the 16th, which is next Saturday, we're going to be set up at the Murray State football game. Doing a stuff the truck for these non-perishable food items, and you can get a ticket there. Then we'll be at the Murray State basketball game that night doing the same thing. So come on out and help some folks out and help yourself out too. Get a ticket to the rodeo.
I'm gonna tell you what, I love rodeos. I've been to them all over the place. This is a fun one that we look forward to every year. This is one that's a whole lot of fun. You know you're gonna have a good time. The clown's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, everything's gonna be great.
Greek Ellick will be our rodeo clown again this year. He's
That's
back
a good
in
one.
town. He's been
That's
around
a
for a
good
long
one.
time. He works pro rodeos like Sykeston every year, and so he's back in town helping us out. We'll have quality entertainment, good cowboys and cowgirls competing for you. Lots of vendors set up. You can shop when you take a break from the rodeo and walk around and shop with us and stuff. Get some good food. Yeah, they tell me those funnel cakes are to die for.
Hey, those are people who know how to fry stuff now.
Yeah.
Country people know how to fry stuff. You give us some oil or butter or lard, man, we can make anything taste good.
And that keeps these folks in business
That's
right here.
Right. That's right.
Morgan's can fix you up when the fried food gets to you.
Hey, we like to please everybody, don't we?
We try.
JD, we have had a great time with you here this morning.
Well, I'm glad. It's always good to be back home. I don't get back to Princeton as often as I'd like. They keep me busy down at Murray, but I try to get back home and see everybody when I get a chance. And I appreciate you guys having me on your show this morning.
Oh, we appreciate it anytime. We've had a lot of kids in our area go down to Murray, and still are. My daughter wants to go down there. Thank you very much.
You bet. You bet. Well, come out to the 44th annual Murray State University Racer Roundup Rodeo. It's the greatest show on dirt.
Well, thank you so much. And hey, they're sitting here, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to them too here in just a second. It's Brian and Jenna Wainer, and we're going to have a good time. I think they know each other, is what I think. I think they may know each other. But
they
we're
put my mama in the ground here back in February, so they treated us great. I tell you what, my mother, Barbara Vanhooser, passed away this last year, and if it hadn't been for the folks up at Morgan's Funeral Home, it would have been a whole lot tougher experience, but they treat us just like family, and that's what Princeton folks are about. So,
well, yes,
I think you saw me in my pajamas.
No, I hope not.
Remember, I showed up to
You
the
did.
funeral.
You did.
I did.
We got there.
Wainer, there are some stories we can't tell on the radio.
I got to the funeral home early to set up, and I was just running in, and I had my pajamas on, and he was there a couple hours early.
The Vanhoosers believe if you're not early, you're going to be late. So we were early there. We wanted to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
Oh, I love that. Hang on, we got the Brian and Jenna Wainer are here from Morgan's Funeral Home. JD's got me all messed up. Crying and JD Vanhooser. That's what's going on this morning. Well, we'll be back in just a second with Coffee Talk in 1580 103.3 WPKY.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
2018 Cruise Premier, 24,000 miles, NADA retail $17,625. Trice price $15,900.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al. Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, Coffee Talk is on the air this morning. We've got Brian and Jenna Wainer from Morgan's Funeral Home are with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't forget about Brian that time.
No, ma'am. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
I just get along with your wife. I can't help it. That's why I think we have a similar sense of humor or something. And it just,
I don't know if that's good or bad, but
I can't picture. I'm still picturing her in her pajamas at Morgan's Funeral Home.
Thanks for that. I'm glad you're here.
You said that.
I'll tell you what. Hey, now you guys, all joking aside, you've got something that's really neat that's coming up that I don't want anybody to forget about, because there's still time to to get in on that as well.
Right.
And it's a remembrance service for the holidays, right?
Yep. This is our 4th annual holiday service of remembrance, and it will be Thursday, November 21st at 6 p.m. at Ogden Memorial United Methodist Church. And the reason that we wanted to come here today is because we have 1 week left to get your photos in. What this holiday service is we know that the holidays are coming up. And when you've lost somebody, it's very hard to face the holidays.
Right.
We've been in a situation where we've had a loss around the holidays, especially myself, and you feel like you're supposed to be happy, but you're not happy. And so it makes the holidays worse because it's almost like you're putting on a front.
Mm-hmm.
So what we decided a couple years ago was to put on this holiday service of remembrance, and it's for people to come, start their holiday season off, and take a moment to stop and honor that person and to think about that person and grieve that person. And not that you get it out of the way, but that you've already confronted the holidays and you've had your moment rather than holding it in, trying to get through the holidays without talking about them. So it's a really beautiful service. We have a speaker that comes and she talks about tips to get through the holidays. It's an inspirational message. We have Laura and Sean Fagan. They come, they play beautiful holiday music. They're awesome. We've worked with them now for 4 years. We do a candlelight service where you get to honor your loved one, and we do a video slideshow presentation, and that's what we're here for today. Anybody can turn a photo in of anybody that they've lost. They don't have to be here in Kentucky. It doesn't have to be at Morgan's Funeral Home, and it doesn't have to be within this year. Anyone that's lost someone, you can get on our website at morgansfuneralhome.com. That's the easiest way, and you can upload a photo. But if you don't know how to do that, just stop by the funeral home, call us. We'll come get your photo. We'll do whatever we can to try and let you be a part of the show.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of times, unfortunately, and I didn't ever really think about it, I guess, and you're not supposed to when you're younger. I mean, that's something that's kind of a mortality thing, I guess. When you get older, you have to think about it. But, and I guess I'm talking about myself like I'm ancient. I'm middle-aged, I guess, now. I'm 44, and I start there you go, JD, now you got it out of it. But when you start thinking about things like that, there's some situations where maybe families aren't very big, and they say, you know what, we're just not going to have the memorial service. We're not going to have the big funeral. We'll just have graveside. Or maybe we'll just do a small little thing, or maybe they don't want to do the casket route. They want to go other routes. Maybe it's cremation. When they do things like that, a lot of times they may just, and maybe it's due to a financial reason. They just can't afford, to do much. Well, maybe they missed that time and they didn't get to grieve and they didn't get to really say goodbye. This is a really great way to do that, right? I mean, this is something that if you didn't have the opportunities at the time, maybe it was just a, timing issue. Now is when, you can really kind of do that, because depression and that sort of thing, around the holidays, the suicide rates tend to climb. The depression tends to come up. It may be the most joyful season in the world for some people, but other people really struggle because of that. And
Absolutely.
I think this is fantastic.
Even for families that did take that time and had a funeral, say 2 or 3 years ago, they may not have stopped and paused since.
Right.
So even if you've had a service, if it's your mom that's passed away or a loved one, it's still a good time to get your family together, bring them all here, stop, pause, remember that person, and kind of get ready for the holidays. Sorry, I cut you off, didn't I?
No, it was hilarious.
I don't jump in there quick enough with you, too.
You watched it happen, didn't you?
That's why you got that connection, Tess.
You've got to be fast with me and Jenna, because we move.
That's right.
Yeah,
Don't be slow, Brian.
That's right.
I just tag in there and say that, to your point, those who may not have had the appropriate closure at the time, but also the funeral we feel like it's a very important step in that starting that closure process. But a funeral is not a one and done solution, and that's why we have an annual memorial service. And this is our 4th year. Unfortunately, we had some weather issues last year, but for those that have come every year, there will be folks that come every year, because it's kind of like an elephant in the room. The holidays is when the family comes together, and the one person that is part of that family is no longer there. And so some people are afraid to talk about it, but some people need to be able to say their name and to be able to recognize how important they were, even though they've had a funeral, even though they've come to a memorial service 3 years in a row and lit a candle at the holiday table every year. There's just some of that ongoing grief that you need to work out.
Well, is it true? They say there's stages of grief.
Yeah.
And, when it first happens, that's like shock and awe. And a lot of times the funeral may be just a couple of days after they've passed. I don't know that you really have had time for your brain to really wrap your mind around what actually happened. You're just kind of getting through it a lot of times.
Yeah, they say it takes about a year for you really to understand what has happened, especially in a tragedy.
Well, birthdays or Brian was talking about that. When birthdays suddenly show up, or Mother's Day or Father's Day suddenly shows up, those are things that you don't know really how you're going to take it until it gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandfather passed, I'm trying to think here, I might have been 13, so aging myself here, that'd be 21 years ago. But I know it was the day before the day of spring starts, and I know my mom and my grandmother have a hard time every single year that day comes up, and that's kind of what this is all about, is just recognizing that, they're not forgotten, and they're still important to us. They still left a huge impact on us, and we still want to stop to remember them.
I think that's why this is really important.
It is.
And I love that it's a community-wide thing, and
Absolutely.
you've even said it doesn't matter how long ago they died. It doesn't matter if you had your funeral here at Morgan's.
Nope.
It doesn't. We're doing this for the community.
Absolutely.
Because we feel like they need it. And I love that, because that, maybe you're a transplant from another area. Maybe you didn't have the chance to even have anybody, with the funeral with you guys.
Yeah. Right.
So I think that's amazing, and thank you for doing that, because I think it's a community service that needs to happen.
I do too, and we've seen a lot of healing with it. My parents in Paducah, they've been doing it for 20 plus years, and there are some people that every year come, and this, they say, starts their holiday season. It's not Thanksgiving, it's this memorial service, because what it does, they come, they celebrate their loved one, and then there's a weight lifted off of them, because like I said, in the holidays, you're supposed to be happy, you're supposed to be joyful, but inside you don't feel that joy until you feel like something's wrong with you.
It's almost like it's giving you permission. It's
it
like,
is,
I'm going to go have
absolutely.
Christmas with Dad or Mom
Absolutely.
or Grandma, and then now it's okay. I have spent my time with them, and now I can, I can do other things. It's almost like a permission in some
Absolutely,
ways.
yes.
It's also a way to incorporate them into the holidays when they can't be here physically.
Right.
So.
And
I think that's fantastic.
It's free of charge. It's only about an hour long, so it's not going to take up your whole night. Like I said, it's beautiful music, great tips to get through the holidays.
Great reason for the family to come together.
Absolutely.
To do it too.
Go grab dinner afterwards. We have a little gift at the end of the show that you take home in remembrance of your loved one that we give out every year. It's just a very beautiful service.
JD's show, I think, is rolled over into Jenna.
It is.
Calling
So
it
if you
a
don't want
show,
to go to the rodeo,
it's a
you
memorial
can come
service.
to the holiday service of remembrance. So
JD's wearing off on you.
Yeah.
Y'all have not lived till you've seen Brian turn around and smile at her.
Yeah.
You have not lived.
He does it a lot.
I'm gonna bring a video camera on
That's
this
his
side.
stop talking face.
It's hilarious.
I
love
just
it.
love when she said show about 3 times.
Not show, holiday service of remembrance.
Either way. Who cares, Brian?
Yeah, exactly.
when do we need to bring the pictures and everything?
So
Let's make sure, who's gonna, what times.
Absolutely. So that's why we're here today, and we'll be back again the next week, the week of the service. Next Friday is when the photos are due, and the reason we make it that week is because it takes a little bit of time to put the video together. Get on our website, morgansfuneralhome.com or lakelandchapel.com. There is an upload button. You'll see it. It says Holiday Service of Remembrance. Upload your photo. You can do that if your photo's on your phone. Or if you have a hard copy, you want to drop it by one of our funeral homes, you can drop it off at Lakeland in Eddyville or Morgan's Funeral Home in Princeton. We'll scan it, give it right back to you. Or if that doesn't work, if you're out of town and you can't figure out the upload button, call us. You can email it to us. However you need to get it to us.
These guys will help you. I promise you they will.
It's a small detail, but for those techie people who like to use their phone and you jump on our website, you won't see the link on the very first page on your phone because it's in mobile setup. So if you scroll all the way down and you click View Desktop, then you'll see exactly what Jenna's talking about. So you can do it from your phone. It just takes an extra step.
Oh, I will tell you, Brian, I figured it out, and I'm the chick that didn't know that there was air-conditioned seats in cars. So, I found it out this morning. I don't know if you listen, I found it out. But I'm the one that didn't know. So if I can do that, that means it's pretty simple. And I think a lot of people would be able to figure that out really easy.
Yeah,
So
and if you can't, just send it through Facebook. However you have to get it to us, we don't want to leave anybody out. So, and if you miss the
Fantastic.
deadline, call us. we make exceptions. So.
They're going to make an exception for just
Yeah.
about it. They're going to make it happen for you. If you want it to happen, they're going to make it happen for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
I've got some wonderful news.
What's that?
Well, the power of radio has worked again. I was sitting in the lobby. We had a visitor here at the station, and he decided it was on his heart that he was going to, there were $30 for 20 athletes.
Right.
And he said, I'm going to do the whole thing.
Wow.
So we have everybody's going to get uniforms for Special Olympics. We had
gosh, that's awesome.
that, and I've been out in the lobby visiting with this person. I've notified Roy Jean, and it's the power of radio. He didn't want to come in here. Just wanted me to mention that it was on his heart. He's been blessed. This community has blessed him, and he wanted to bless our Special Olympic athletes. So. He made the donation to purchase all the uniforms for the Special Olympic team.
That's awesome. Well, God bless you.
Yep. I've been out there in the lobby. I'm glad I didn't have a microphone earlier because I don't think I could have come in here. And we swapped some stories. I sit and listened to his story. And it was unbelievable. And I've been blessed today. And I don't know. I'm going to go out here and work hard. But that man inspired me to go out here and work extra hard. And it's people like that make this community great. And
there are good people
it's
in
special.
this town.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that's one of the things I think when you're involved in Special Olympics and around those kids, they make you want to be better people.
Mm-hmm.
And you see what an actual genuine human being looks like at its core. And you see how tainted we are every day when you're around them. And again, well, we've talked about Jenna in her pajamas, and I have ugly
and what
cry.
A nice event.
It is not an ugly cry.
And what
It's
a nice
beautiful.
service this is, that Morgan's funeral home does, and to the remembrance of our loved ones, and just how special that is as well, and remembering special people that have made lasting impressions upon all of us. So. What a wonderful thing. So thank you all for being here.
Well, thanks for having us, and we will see you guys Monday, the week of. So.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for being here. It's been a great week, and I'm thinking, if this is the way we're wrapping up on a week, I can't wait to see what next week.
Yeah, I can't wait what it holds.
Absolutely.
I got my crying out of the way.
You think?
Maybe. Hey, it's 1580 103.3 WPKY. Have a great and safe weekend. Of course, don't forget the football game tonight.
Big ball game
Tiger
tonight.
Stadium. Turn us on at 5:30. Of course, we'll have the pregame, and we're postseason, and the kickoff's going to start at 7 o'clock. I'm about to do it again. Kickoff's going to be at 7 o'clock. Come out and cheer for these guys. They've had a rough one this year, but it's been a great one.
Yes,
and,
indeed. Go
come
blue and
cheer 'em
gold.
on. Hey, it's 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton.